keeper of the secret.
The game is about an alternative interpretation of the history of mankind.
The whole mystery of Drowned God is based on Atlantis and the position of these star constellations that form the same constellation as the Giza pyramids, the ground layout.
It's a puzzle game. Basically, the whole thing is unlocking a gigantic secret. And the game is thought about as a long crescendo from near ignorance into initiation and a new knowledge, which is genuine. You leave the game significantly with more between your ears and your heart, maybe, than you had when you started it.
It's about the great figures of mankind and how they fit into a conspiracy that has been going on since prehistory. And really what we're doing is unraveling this incredibly intricate conspiracy. And the conspiracy literally goes from the flood through the Mayan era, the Egyptian era, and all the way up to the present day, including people like Leonardo, Einstein, a lot of the greats of mankind.
In the 𝐂𝐸𝐧𝐬𝐸𝐷 realm, it mainly deals with the Mayan pyramids, the Bermuda Triangle, the Scorpio sub, the Philadelphia experiment. The second realm, Bina, is the air realm that deals very much with the Arthurian legend of the Grail, the Stonehenge, the site of Merlin's Wood, through to Din, which is the mechanistic world of the 18th century enlightened, the Jules Verne's, if you like, their vision of what the future world might look like, through to the fire realm, 𝐃𝐑𝐿, which is based in the Four Corner area of the United States, underground bases, the Great Pyramids at Giza.
It is linear when you are going through each of the realms that the player has to go through, but within each of those realms, then it's almost completely non-linear. So you can wander around any environment that you like. It's going to be a question of navigating your way through history and hopefully coming out the other end.
Above all, there is an ongoing story in there that doesn't get finished within this game. I believe that Eden refers to Atlantis. This is all left-of-field stuff, I know that, but it happens to be what I believe in.
Drowned God has an elliptical meaning which covers a number of possible points. It could mean Atlantis, the fabled empire that was submerged by the sea. It could mean the loss of ancient knowledge that was the original property of the ancients.
But what was interesting is that most of the characters that we chose were members of a secret organization called the Priory of Sion, or so it's claimed, and that goes from Leonardo da Vinci through to Isaac Newton.
Newton and Einstein, a couple of argumentative old scientists, treat us to a few of their disagreements. Horus from the Isis and Osiris legend.
Victor Hugo.
𝐂𝐾𝐬, the Aztec Mayan god.
There is an enormous amount of interest, books, films, all the internet inquiries and websites and all the rest of it, about these very subjects. I think it is very good timing, especially around the millennium. I don't know whether it's millennial fever or what it is, but there are a huge number of people out there who are interested in this area.
The objective of the game is to regain these 4 lost artifacts, and through uncovering the security puzzles that have been placed around each artifact, the player, with the aid of certain characters, by moving through the miasma of lies and deceptions, is able to locate each relic, take it back, and install it inside the bequest globe.
There is danger aplenty, and if you're not careful, you could get a very bad shock or two. I don't think it's likely to be fatal, but then who knows?
The original idea was by Harry Horse, and he, Alistair Graham, who's the art director, and myself have been really collaborating on this for a long time. But Harry does most of the writing.
My job before I was a political cartoonist. That's how I made my living. And my editor, I think, was confounded a lot of the time by the fact that I did have a lot of alternative conspiracies about what was happening in politics. And some of those conspiracies were right. I mean, they weren't dreamt up by me. They were believed by good journalists.
The majority of what I do is to provide the material that the 3D guys, the modelers and the computers, give them the raw material which they can then make, i.e. the environments in the game.
When I put my piece down, all I wanted to do was go home and go to bed. My car was blocked in, and I was wandering the studio corridors, and I heard this wonderful music coming from one of the studios. I put my head around the corner, and I met 𝐿𝐸𝐷𝐲 from Miasma, and I said to him, you have to write music for this game.
Essentially what we're doing is either building the characters directly into Softimage, which is the software that we're using to do the game, the 3D elements of the game, or we are using his sculpts. We're scanning those on a very, very high resolution digital scanner, and then we are using those wire mesh models. We're then texturing those and then attaching the motion capture data that the Plant Brothers have provided to make the characters animate. What we've been after again is as close to total immersion in the game as possible.
The look of Drowned God is photographic realism, fantastic in the sense of its fantasy, but it's also rather good, fantastic photorealism.
We have a whole army of computer animators and 2D artists who are actually putting together the images that you'll see on the screen.
The one coming off of there, to have these extremities for that.
It works by having 7 cameras arranged in a circle, so the performer, the actor that's going to be reading the lines next door, will have a ring of cameras all around him. You'll see he also has lots of little spots stuck onto his face, and that's the mechanism whereby the movement is translated inside the computer. There are 7 cameras and they're all calibrated together, so that means that each camera knows exactly where it is precisely in relation to the next camera, so that when the data comes in to the machine, it's much easier for it all to get reprocessed and brought together as basically one marker set, which is what you see over here. This is actually basically the raw data as it comes out of the machine. This is partially reconstructed. What we've done here is basically done a dot-to-dot joining the dots, so we can actually just see that there's continuity between markers. What can happen sometimes with this type of system is that markers get naturally occluded, they get covered. So, for example, if you're doing a game, you have a wrist marker here, another hand goes up in front of it, you'll lose that marker momentarily. And what has to happen in the post-processing stage is that you have to go in and basically fiddle around with it and join the dots up so that you have marker continuity. So you don't get any nasty jumps or glitches in the animation.
So we need a wide variety of voices that go through. So, and you can see on page 11, these are sort of these blip ads. Again, this is voiceover commercial stuff, so sort of put yourself into that.
Yeah.
Okay. When we feel tired and run down, it's just our body's way of saying, "Yay, give me a break."
Hey.
Well, we've made that break, and it comes in 4 new delicious flavors.
Yeah, that kind of really.
Yes.
I was going to use super glue, but they wouldn't let me.
Okay.
Switch that on a bit harder.
That's it. Again, so just make sure it's on tight enough. It's on its side.
Crashed.
No. So is the motion capture working okay and everything?
Just coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got one up on the screen.
Cool.
It's working.
It's not too shabby.
The passing of time is an illusion. In reality,
The past, the present, and the future are one. The Grail is a device that brings these different states of time to the holder's will.
Be careful with the Einstein that you don't make him too, in the back of the throat. Yeah, just because he's quite a nice guy, so keep it sort of, that gravel.
There, it was better than your damn apple puzzle.
It's better. That's the one. Let me hear that back, Dave.
Please let me take them off. Actually, I've grown quite used to them. Do you mind if I keep them on for the rest of the day?
Keeper of the secret. I am